Hey guys, this is Alex with Elevate Health and Performance here. Today we're taking a look at a half kneeling landmine press. For a landmine setup, that means that one end of the bar is going to be anchored. Sometimes your gym may have a sweet landmine anchor like we've got here, where that bar can actually fit in the landmine anchor, but it might not, and that's okay as well. You can actually park a bar in the corner of a room or the corner of a squat rack or corner of a piece of equipment where we've got maybe a 90-degree angle here. You just wedge it in that 90-degree angle. So that certainly works as well if we don't have an actual landmine setup. So a couple of options there. But we're going to anchor one aspect of one end of the bar. We're going to set up in our half kneeling position. So good half kneeling position. Back toe is tucked, knee, hip, shoulder is stacked. We're braced in the belly, braced in the glute, and then we're going to be doing some pressing on this landmine setup. We really have two options for how we execute that press, so let's take a look. Step number one, we've got the elbow under the bar, under the wrist, and we've got a little bit of space, a little bit of daylight in between our elbow and our ribs. We don't want to be resting on our rib cage in this rack position. So good half kneeling position, a little bit of space. With belly brace, the first version we're going to work on is just holding our body really still and pressing that bar up and away. We should be reaching the arm, reaching that bar away, and driving into some upward rotation in the shoulder blade. We bring that back down nice and active. We don't want to dump the elbow back, creating some pressure on the front side of the shoulder here. Nice and active rack position, belly braced. We're going to press, reach away. This is the first version that doesn't require quite as much shoulder stability or mobility. It's a great place to start when we're learning how to do this landmine press and disassociate the scapular upward rotation or reach from the rib cage. We don't want to see the body doing this movement in place of the shoulder blade doing this movement. The second version, we can make this slightly more advanced by adding a little bit of lean or follow through. So we're going to perform this the same way, except at the very end range, we're going to bring our body forward, keeping our core tight still, and we're going to see more of that arm in line with the trunk. So we create a more straight line, a more overhead position. We bring that back down with a slight shift back. We still want that active rack position here, and we're only adding that reach at the very end of the press. With the half kneeling landmine press, we want to avoid hips initiating the press by driving the hips forward and then pressing. Very common fault here to see those hips move first. They should really move last if we're going to follow through on that landmine press. Slightly more advanced variation if you've got the shoulder mobility for it. So go ahead and give that a go. See what you think.